I find Kickstarter seems rather keen on tossing other games currently undergoing campaigns at me after I've supported other games. It's not less than a few times this has worked on me, and this Metroidvania with an unforgiving combat difficulty and anime style was enough to have me tossing something their way. As a result, let's check out the Kickstarter demo for Lost Ruins. Sold mostly on the trailer, Lost Ruins seems to scratch the itch after playing Blasphemous, with a dangerous world and slow, deliberate combat system, with plenty of dangerous traps and enemies. What Lost Ruins doesn't have in terms of comparing it to Blasphemous is the level of detail and artistry. In turn, the sprites are a lot less detailed. The animations are interesting and have a good amount of frames, but your character and others have a general flat or chibi look to them. Animations with weapons are highly stiff, like sword sprite rotates on an axis kind of thing for a lot of the weapons. Environments can have surprising detail on them, but are generally flat and boxy. The UI and map is very basic. The lighting, however, adds a lot cooler effects that are impressive, but do seem to clash with the game's more old-school look in general. Characters seen during dialogue scenes are hand-drawn, and a lot more realistically proportioned, as anime girls go, that is. You'll run into different characters as you make your way through the labyrinth, with schoolgirls and suspicious witches galore. A boss gets into a lot more detail despite her lacking color scheme, but I'll get into that in a bit. Musically, Lost Ruins shoots for a desolate feel, very low-key, focused on atmosphere, and generally sad feeling with a lot of high piano notes. This isn't always the case, as the game isn't afraid to go silent during some spots, or ramp up the intensity for more dire fights. It's really more the sound I want to focus on because... yeah, there's a lot of atmospheric sound, certainly, but your nameless character seems to make a lot of noise herself, and they come across as very suggestive, with breathy moans for almost every movement, even taking a sharp moaning breath when simply coming to a stop. Enemies are also pretty shrill and loud. The sound work is fine, but plenty does make the game come across as fetishistic. Then again, with some of the things that you'll find, like school swimsuits as armor or other such items, it probably is. Gameplay for the most part is fairly basic for the genre. Blasphemous is a decent comparison, but it's not nearly as swift, and there's no defensive moves like blocks or parries. It's not more than a dodge roll. Dark Souls adjacent at best. Luckily, there's no fall damage. For those looking to be extra try-hardy, the game offers 3 difficulty modes. My first playthrough was on normal, and there were plenty of tough parts to be concerned about. Normal mode is very stingy with health and magic, and the game only loads your previous save instead of the standard Souls-like approach of keeping your unlocked progress, but losing all your collected currency. It's much more unforgiving in that manner, and saves even record you at your current health and mana instead of refreshing it, while still respawning all the enemies in the area. Easy mode drops this entirely by restoring your health and mana to full at save points, so if you're not looking for that potential frustration, there's an option. Standard pickups do drop to instantly restore health and mana by a bit, but they don't drop with any sense of regularity. You can also eat food and drink potions to restore your health and mana, and these also drop sporadically if not outright located in the dungeon or purchased from vending machines with your collected currency. This and the myriad of weaponry that you'll find means that you will be menuing a lot. Unfortunately, menuing feels really awkward. Defaulting the menu to the Options key, or the Select key if you're old school and nasty, while the actual game options are on the menu or Start key. That's gonna need a swap because the default feels like nonsense. The basic premise of the level that we got is a schoolgirl with no given name waking in some dungeon while a witch girl tells her she's been brought there by the Dark Lady for reasons, had her memory wiped, and she'll have to fight her way through for answers. Can I just say I don't trust this witch girl? She acting pretty sus. Afterwards, you run the gamut of dungeon monsters. Weird goblins, giant insects, bats, zombies, zombie schoolgirls, corpses in schoolgirl outfits, big titty anime slime girls. Wait, what? Okay, yeah, this game is definitely fetishistic. Made even more so when you reach the demo's conclusion. You start out talking to what seems like a regular girl if you're not paying attention to her hair, and a boss fight that's over almost as soon as it starts when she attacks you for killing some slime girls that appear around her. Of course, there's a phase 2. By the way, I am not making this up when I say that, on stream, I predicted what would happen next.
Well, they also said Lami was friends with the slimes, so I'm also expecting giant slime titties.
5 minutes later.
What'd I say? What did I fucking say? What did I fucking say?
I was not expecting to be 100% correct, even going as far as this slime girl's tits to visibly flop around in the water, causing a very deliberate splash each time. Guess where her most reliable hitbox is? It's funny that fighting a massive woman who you defeat by repeatedly smacking her in her giant bouncing tits has happened in so many Metroidvania-like games that I can qualify it as a subgenre now. Here's a quick list for those of you who have that very specific fetish. And yeah, it's easy to clown on this game's obvious quirks, but that's not to say that I didn't enjoy my time with the demo. I did back this on Kickstarter after all, so I saw merit in it, and the challenge in normal mode was interesting enough. Discovering secrets was thrilling, like you'd want in a Metroidvania. I don't know the exact turnaround time for this game. It did meet its goal and surpassed it fairly well, hitting every one of their stretch goals. Clearly there's an audience. Here's hoping we'll see it come to fruition soon, and they make some decent quality of life improvements in that time. Kickstarter's current projections are saying January of next year, so hopefully they make it on time, and we'll get to see what other weird anime tropes it has in store.